Agriculture and beautiful green acres are a huge and important part of Delaware. Recently, I met up with a gentleman who was happy to tell us about his connection to ag life in the first state. We have a new Secretary of Agriculture in town, in the state, I guess I should say. It's Ed Key, and we want to introduce him to you out there, for those of you who don't know him, because I'm kind of just meeting him now myself. Now, I read your bio. Wow, you've done a whole lot. So you are a native of Delaware, that's correct?
I am, probably 6 or 7 generations, and proud of it.
Your entire life has been surrounded around agriculture.
That's pretty much true. Since I was a little boy, my father was in the food business. I started working on farms when I was 15. I didn't grow up on a family farm, but worked for one, and that was really down at Lewis, Nassau Orchards. A lot of people drive by that. And that's where I cut my eye teeth on agriculture and loved it, and decided to study it in college, and the rest is history, as they say.
Have you written books too? Okay, how many and what were they about?
Well, I've written 3 books of varying sizes. One was about the history of the Laurel auction market, which is quite a story for southeastern Sussex County. And then I wrote a book, coffee table type book, about the history of the canning and freezing industry, all the vegetable crops that were canned and frozen in this area. 60 years ago, tomatoes and other vegetables were as important as poultry is now. And that changed, and I kind of wrote about why it's changed. And then in 2006, I did one of those Arcadia photograph books called Delaware Farming. And it's a lot of old photographs of old farm scenes, county by county, and explains what happens, including some great original scenes of horse racing at Harrington way back in the day, when it was the Kenton Sussex Fair.
Wow, that was way back in the day. That was even before I was born.
Me too, believe it or not.
Tell me about your involvement with harness racing. How much do you know about it?
Well, I'm learning every day, and I'm proud to say this. When I was in college, my buddies and I would go out to Brandywine on Friday nights, and we enjoyed it. And I should have been home studying or back at school studying, but we went to Brandywine, and it was a beautiful track, and I got to know about people like Hervé Filion and Stanley Dancer, kind of legends in the game. So, no, I've never owned a horse. I've never been involved in that way. But what I have come to appreciate, especially since I took this job in January, what magnificent athletes these horses are. It's stunning to watch them. And then how skilled the drivers and the trainers and everybody else is. So it's a treat to be a part of it. I have responsibilities associated with the Harness Racing Commission and the Thoroughbred Racing Commission now. Of course, I leave that to the experts and try to be as supportive as possible, but it's a great sport, and it means a lot to Delaware, and it's a sport that I enjoyed as an 18 and 19-year-old kid.
Well, I know, I'm so glad that you mentioned about how wonderful and beautiful the animals are, because I try to get it through their heads. You cannot imagine, just watching them on television, how magnificent they are. You gotta come to the track, and you have to see them live and in person.
I agree, and I don't know what I can do as secretary to get more people to physically get in here and see these. I call them athletes. Maybe that's not the right word for horses, but to me they are magnificent athletes. It's no difference to me watching a baseball game on TV or live and in person. You just see so much more. Fortunately, here at Dover and down in Harrington, which is starting up, you get to be so close to them. That's what I like about these 2 venues.
Well, thank you for being on the show. It's nice to have officially met you, and now everybody out there in TV land knows you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.